Hey there, this is Dana Arcuri, author, speaker, survivor, and advocate. And today's topic is about the 14 reasons why the narcissist will not ever give you closure nor any apologies. And so have you been waiting for the narcissist or the flying monkeys to give you a genuine apology? Have you been trying so hard to have closure as you came to the end of your relationship with one or more people? And if so, how are you doing? How are you handling this? And the one thing that we must understand is that anyone who is of a sound mind, a stable person, in which they had a relationship that did come to an end, they typically would talk as the relationship is coming to a close. They would have an adult conversation. Maybe together they would discuss what they thought could have gone wrong, why it was not a successful relationship, and why they believe they must both go in different directions in their lives. But with a narcissist and the flying monkeys and toxic relatives, oftentimes we find we hit a brick road when it comes to any form of closure with these people, or even ever getting an apology from them. So we could go sometimes months, we could go years, we could go decades where there is no closure ever. And so first, let's talk about closure. So closure is when a relationship ends. Psychologists think of closure as the desire for an answer, a conclusion, and or a resolution that leaves no room for uncertainty. And so for you, perhaps you were in a relationship with a narcissist and out of nowhere they discarded you, maybe they ghosted you, and they were missing in action, and it left you mystified. Why? Why did they end the relationship? Why did they quit calling you? Why have they gotten no contact from you? Why did they just up and break off the relationship without even discussing anything? So, when it comes to breakups, it's really painful. It doesn't matter who it's with. It could be a breakup with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It could be a breakup of a long friendship. It could be a breakup from a business-related relationship. It could be a breakup in your marriage. It could even be that you go separate ways with one or more people in your birth family. So oftentimes scapegoats and the black sheep of the family have dealt with this, and we understand that closure is a very sticky topic. It could be mystifying, it could be confusing, it could be frustrating, and extremely painful because we never had a heart-to-heart discussion with these people who may have gone astray. Maybe they discarded us, or maybe they just quit calling us or quit talking to us. Now, for a few of us, we're going to flip it to the other side, that we were in a relationship with one or more people who may have been toxic. It could be a narcissist, and we were the ones who broke contact. And it could be a situation that before we made the big decision to go no contact, we did not choose to have a heart-to-heart discussion with the toxic person because we knew that they would gaslight us. We knew that they would criticize us. We would not be heard. We would not be validated. And if anything, we know that we'd be just again and again and again bullied, manipulated, and baited for just continued craziness with this individual. So for some of us, we're the ones who went no contact, but even so, we never received closure from the narcissist or any of these toxic people. So there's a lot of different variables that can come on board with these dynamics of broken relationships, especially when it comes to a narcissist. But let's talk about the 14 reasons why the narcissist and the flying monkeys will never give you a genuine apology nor closure. So number one is zero self-reflection. Now, it takes a person who's very confident in who they are, who's very aware. Now, to be someone who's very conscious and aware of your reality. You are not living your life on autopilot. Instead, you live in mindfulness. So you live in the present moment, you take responsibility for yourself, and you're very aware of your relationships and the state of these relationships. But someone who has the lack of ability to self-reflect, say the narcissist, their big ego gets in the way. And so their ego dictates, no, I can't look in the mirror. No, I can't look within. No, I can't dare reflect on my poor behaviors and my maliciousness because I don't even want to go there, because I don't want to change. And so self-reflection is just not on the radar of someone who's extremely psychologically abusive. Now, number 2 would be no remorse. So obviously, if someone has no remorse, then they cannot apologize because they lack remorse. So they don't feel responsible. They don't really care. And they don't feel that there's any need to even have a discussion with you. And so they just carry on like nothing happened and you two go separate directions. And that's the end of that. Next would be, some of us have experienced psychological invalidation. So psychological invalidation is when a person's thoughts and feelings are rejected, ignored, denied, or judged. Psychological invalidation is a lethal form of emotional abuse. Toxic people repeatedly invalidate you in order to minimize their own crazy-making behaviors. Number 4, the narcs and the flying monkeys live in denial and they suddenly have amnesia. So for an example, say you are no longer in a relationship with a narcissist, but you really want to have closure. So you end up reaching out to them and you ask them, why did we break up? What happened? Well, what went wrong? Was there something I said? Was there something I did? And you might start questioning. You might want some conclusions of why this relationship ended. And what will happen is that all of a sudden, just like that, the narcissist will be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you must be imagining it. No, I never treated you like that. No, I never said that. No, I never did that. We know that it's just a bunch of BS, but this is what the narcissist will do. So they will live in denial. They'll deny your own reality, and they'll say that you are crazy. Number 5 is that they lack self-awareness with their own behaviors. So once again, we're back to, being mindful, being responsible, living in the present moment, taking responsibility for yourself. And again, this is something that toxic people, especially the narcissist, is just not capable of. Next would be number 6. Toxic people are incapable of having civil, adult conversations, especially pertaining to why they mistreated you and why the relationship has failed. And so this is just something that seems to be a very common thread within all relationships with a narcissist, and that you'll never be able to have adult civil conversations. Instead, they'll freak out, they'll flip out, they'll start cussing at you, they'll blow up, they'll start provoking you, baiting you, gaslighting you, and then you just feel like you're being sucked in. It's that whole hoovering, then they suck you back in, then you're in the vicious cycle all over again, and it is super unproductive. Next would be number 7. The malignant narcissist and flying monkeys will never, ever confess that they made horrible mistakes with you. They won't admit to doing anything wrong. I don't care how tiny and minimal or how major and huge this could be. It doesn't matter how big or small the problem was between the two of you. They will never confess the truth. and they will never admit wrongdoing. The next thing about that is that if you bring this up to them and say, hey, why aren't you admitting the truth? And why are you denying what you did to me? They will criticize you. They will judge you. They will flip it to them and be like, I'm the victim and you're the one who was mean to me and you're the one who did this and that. And they'll basically just play the victim card. And this is what narcissists do, and they're very good at it. Number 8, another reason why you will never get an apology or any form of closure with toxic people is because they will never truly hear you nor care to listen to you. So it's not that they're deaf. It's not that they can't hear. It's that they choose to not listen to you, to not hear you. They tune you out and you feel like you're talking to a brick wall. So basically you get nowhere. You get absolutely nowhere. It's fruitless. Number 9, narcissists intentionally leave you hanging with no resolutions. They purposefully refuse to offer you closure because it's another ploy to hurt you. So very simply stated, this is how the narcissist and the flying monkeys punish you. Number 10, they have no empathy. So a person who is compassionate and empathic and a caring person, a kind-hearted person, a forgiving person, they will be an adult and they will take responsibility for their own words, thoughts, and actions. And so they'll say what they're sorry for and you two can have an adult conversation. And they will be empathetic with you. But you see, when we're talking about someone such as a malignant narcissist, they don't have not even a teeny tiny amount of empathy within them. They're cold-hearted snakes. They're just emotional vampires who will suck the life and joy out of you. Number 11, another reason why you will not get closure is because they don't think you deserve it. They're like, no, I'm not giving it to you. No, I don't want to, and you can't make me. And then it becomes like a battle, like they want to go to war with you. They actually like get off on this. They love division. They love stirring the pot. They love instigating. And so in their eyes, you are not a human being. You are just an object for them to push around and to beat up. Number 12. They need you as their narcissistic supply. So they need this. And so they don't want to give you closure. They do like to keep you hanging because they never know when they might need a little more supply from you. Number 13, they want you powerless and they aim to control you even from a distance. So a lot of times they don't want to give you closure. They want to keep you hanging. And then they want to, from a distance, overpower you and control you in whatever manner they can do so. And this is what they absolutely thrive on. I mean, they just crave this power trip with you. Next is that number 14 is that psychologically abusive people, especially a person with narcissistic personality disorder, they are not ever going to change. And because they're never going to change, they will never, ever be able to see your viewpoint or understand you. And therefore, they will never give you closure or any kind of genuine apology. Here's a really inspiring quote by a woman named Melanie Evans. And she says, "True healing from a narcissist means acceptance of the apology, accountability, and remorse you will never get. The closure is between you and you." And that is very true. So when it comes to closure, the ball is in your court and it's all up to you to do the hard work of narcissistic abuse recovery solo. It's a solo journey. Now, if you have emotional support to come on board and help you, that is fantastic. That is awesome. But we must know that there are some of us who don't always get all the emotional support that we we may hope for, and therefore we will forge ahead on a new pathway to heal regardless of closure or no closure. And we have to understand that an apology or closure with a narcissist, or any toxic people at that matter, is not a prerequisite to your recovery. So, simply stated, you do not need an apology or closure for you to recover from this very traumatic, abusive relationship. Now, that's really important, and I hope you take heed on that. Next is, a lot of times people will say to us, oh, just move on. Oh, just get over it. Especially when it comes to these pathological, toxic, malignant relationships. But we can understand that these relationships may have ended in a very traumatic way because the relationship was extremely unbalanced, it was unsuccessful, and it was very unpleasant. The beauty of going full no contact is saying no more. It is your way of clearly setting healthy boundaries and standing up for yourself. Going no contact is your final word to the narcissist and the toxic people. It is your form of closure. So you don't have to have words. You don't have to have a discussion. When you go full no contact, that is very loud and clear a statement from you that's nonverbal that says, I am done with your despicable abuse. So today, we can understand that if we want to recover from narcissistic abuse or toxic relationships, we must do the hard work of healing. We could find various ways to heal and recover on our terms. And for everyone, it's different. I've thought a lot about should I record a video on all the different ways that we can heal? But the truth is there's hundreds of different ways to heal because there's so many variables that go into it. And there's healing as far as traditional healing, medicine, therapy, psychology, etc., etc. Then there's natural healing. There's people who do EMDR. There's people who do body work, who go to massage therapists. There's people who do energy work. There's people who on their own, they do a lot of journaling. They do a lot of writing because it's very therapeutic in the healing process. Other people, they just get back into nature. For them, they get real grounded in nature. They spend a lot of time with solitude, peace and quiet, maybe bird watching. Maybe someone else that's into self-expression, like creativity, art therapy, pet therapy, music therapy, and on and on. We have so many different opportunities to heal. But the one thing I could say is that there's not just one road to healing. There's not just a single path for recovering from narcissistic abuse and traumatic relationships. And that is why oftentimes I don't have any videos on, okay, hey, here you go. Here's how you heal. Because the way I heal may not be the way you heal. And the way you heal and what works for you may not be a good fit for me. So we always have to be super mindful of our own personality, of our own likes and dislikes, and of the type of person we are, what we believe in, what we're interested in, and what we're open to. So it's about being open-minded. And so the one thing I really believe, though, is that pet therapy is beautiful. Adopt a rescue pet today. Find a furry friend to cuddle in your arms, to give you some loving, because I'm telling you, this is just absolutely beautiful. And I love my furry friend, Banks, and Banks Girl. She and I are just two peas in a pod, and I love her, and she's so in tune to me. Now, pets are very in tune to our emotions. A lot of people think pets don't know anything. Oh, no. Oh, our dogs and cats and horses and other animals, they are so wise. They know when we're sad. They know when we're mad. They know if we're up or we're down or somewhere in between. You know, just about a couple weeks ago, I was having one day that was, I considered it more of a down day, a day of real self-reflection, soul-searching, and there were some tears flowing. And my cat, Banks, was so in tune to me. She crawled up on my lap, she cuddled with me, and she just looked me in the eyes, and she looked at me like, I love you, and I'm here for you, and I'm going to be there, and you got this, Mom. You could do this. You know, you are an empowering woman. You know, just keep on keeping on. And so know that our furry friends can be a huge part of our healing journey, and find other ways to be creative, whether it's dancing, whether it's yoga, whether it's stretching, swimming, any kind of like exercise. Getting your heart pumping is a great way for feel-good endorphins. Exercise is just absolutely incredible for working off some anxiety or some stress, especially in 2020. So get outdoors, or even if you have a treadmill indoors, get your heart pumping, people. It's really, really important that, especially during the holidays, we take a little time out. Listen to your favorite music. If you love to play music, that itself is very therapeutic. So share with me, have you ever received closure from a toxic relationship, such as a narcissist or toxic family? Have you found ways to find closure in which you don't even have to have a discussion with them? And then I'm going to end on this note. So I never had a heart-to-heart discussion with my mom prior to ending the relationship with her. And the same goes for my siblings. Instead, I cut the ties. I was done with it. I was done with being abused, and I walked away. But what happened was I have had 2 incredible dreams about my mother. She's deceased now, and it's been like 4.5 months. But the beauty of going no contact and the beauty of healing on your own terms is there are times where in our subconscious, when we're asleep, we will find healing and closure in a totally different, unique way that we never in a million years would have imagined. And for me, my closure with my mother came through 2 different dreams, super beautiful, with butterflies, with peace, and just with something within my soul. You know, I woke up from these dreams and felt just absolutely peaceful, relieved, happy, rejoicing, blessed, and once again, empowered to just keep living the beautiful mission and purpose that God has called me on. So again, do what works for you as far as your healing journey, but know that there's many, many roads to the recovery journey. Take care and have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.